All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Welcome back to the Big Mig Show, and good morning. I'm your host, Lance Migliaccio, with my co-host, George Ballantine. It's tip of the spear. We're back in the saddle. Took a little break yesterday simply because sometimes we look at the news cycle, and rather than just give you guys more
How
of
about
the
we
same,
just took a day off, bro?
Yeah, well, I always like to tell them too. We look, and a lot of times rehashing stuff, we look at the news and we think, okay, can it be a good show? Is it valuable for the audience? We don't want to waste your time. Yesterday we looked and we were like, didn't look great, the news. We were just going to sit here and rehash a bunch of stuff that was old. It's not how we do this show, so just heads up, that's part of it. Of course, thank you for following us. A lot of great new followers. Appreciate you guys jumping in. If you're here, jump in the chat. Get in there. Come on, don't be shy. Leave us a comment. And the most important thing, take that live link during the show, share it far and wide on your own social media. It helps us grow, helps you grow your social media. We love the support. And we've got a community over on X, a Big Mig Show community. So you go over to the Big Mig account, which is the Big Mig Show. You look at the community, you ask to join. I'll take a look at your profile. If you don't look like a jackass, of course, we'll add you. If you got a bunch of rainbows, that could be a problem. Or if you got a Ukraine flag in your profile, you probably won't get added. Probably won't happen, just so you know. All right, listen, of course, big show today. As always, we love to bring all the top stories to you. Got a lot of interesting stuff. We just were grabbing stuff last minute. Let's give a shout out. If you'd like to sponsor the Big Mig, you know how to do it. info@thebigmig.com. That's right, at thebigmig.com. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., #1 crypto show on Rumble, the Crypto Power Hour. And of course, what's this? It's silver. It should be gold. The guys at Genesis Gold should send us some gold ones, but here's a silver one, the 62.2 gram prepper bar, perforated and very easily broken down to your choice of 3 separate denominations. You can just break off a small piece to make a payment. There's a small, a medium, and large. And, whether it be for asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, or in the case of the prepper bar, it's a very unique utility for barter and trade. Of course, prepper bar, it's a perfect gift. Nobody doesn't like gold and silver. Get some for your grandkids, your children, stocking stuffers, you name it. The prices are still going up, so you definitely want to be ahead of the curve on this. They've got them in stock, very low on silver, and they're always selling out fast over at Genesis Gold because, of course, these come with an assay report where a lot of other bullion doesn't, which guarantees you that it's silver or gold, whatever you bought, fits neatly in your wallet, and your utility enables use in any situation. Head over to thebigmigbar.com, thebigmigbar.com. Or you can use that QR code. Just take a snapshot and go there after the show. Or you can call them at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154. And don't forget to tell them the Big Mig Show sent you. BigMigBar.com.
BigMigBar.com.
Break me off a piece of that prepper bar.
So,
Howdy-ho, what?
we keep talking about accountability. I feel like a broken record. Maybe Tim Walz get a little accountability. To me, what happened up in Minneapolis so far in Minnesota is just straight up criminal. Lots of people should be getting arrested for the fraud and the rest of it. So it looks like they're going to try to impeach old little Timmy Tampon.
Lance.
Yeah.
I need to stop you.
Why?
Because I have a set the mood for everybody.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh.
I wasn't going to go all the way in. I just figured we'd get the thumbnail. I like your set the mood. I want you to pull the trigger. I just wondered, did you like the Quality Impeachment Center?
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks. I kind of thought it was. Thanks
All
to
right.
Grok for that.
There's a set the mood. Might break the internet. I don't know. Just roll with it. Pretty funny.
He's almost ready. There, look at that.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Everything was perfect in Minnesota.
immigrants came.
Tacos, tacos, come get your tacos. Oh.
Alec Baldwin,
The illegals are destroying Minnesota. We're going to get them out of there.
Tom Hanks,
Go out there and try to get yourselves killed by ICE. I will stay here and beat my retard son.
Tampon Tim! Tampon Tim! Tampon Tim!
one city, one agency, one goal. With Rosie O'Donnell,
You, ICE agent, let me kill you with my car.
and in his feature debut, Will Stansel.
I came here to study black people and harass ICE. And I'm all out of blacks.
45 days that changed America. Because even ICE melts. Sanctum Films presents Minnesota ICE.
How do you sleep at night upholding white supremacy?
But I'm black.
Nigger!
In theaters this summer.
What the hell? Dropping the N-word. The end. Yeah, I love when he says, I saw something. I saw Rampage Jackson on with some Mexican guy on a show. And somebody brings Rampage Jackson some ice for his drink, and he's standing with the Mexican guy. The Mexican guy was funny, fat guy. He goes, "Is that ice?" The guy brought the ice to Rampage Jackson during the show. It's like, no, it's not that kind of ice. But it was a pretty funny moment. I got to give it to the Mexican guy. Acting all funny. Just Rampage Jackson. He's got a pretty funny show. I got to give it to him. He's brand new over. He got a paid deal over on Rumble. So good for you. I like old Rampage. He's a good guy. All right. So, yeah. Tampon Timmy looks like he's in trouble. Look, they're talking about impeachment by the state house. It looks like he was complicit in the rampant fraud, the theft, and he retaliated against whistleblowers for trying to disclose it. Of course, none of them wanted their cash flow to stop. Mark Weiner just filed impeachment, failure to faithfully execute the laws of the state of Minnesota, abuse of power, and obstruction of oversight. So I guess it goes on. Minnesota statutes governing fraud, oversight, and fiduciary responsibilities require state leadership to safeguard taxpayer funds. Did they do that? No. They didn't safeguard it. They aren't safeguarding your federal funds. You see this. Still can't figure out why we're not getting any clawback or arrest from all the USAID fraud. George, what happened to the 14 magic money computers? That just went dead quiet. They found these magic money computers that weren't even tied into decisions by Congress. You could just type in a name. I wanted to get one for the Big Ming Show for the audience. We were going to hand out all kinds of payments to the people that watch the show. Because look, my opinion is, if they're going to steal the money, we might as well steal the money. That way we can just go on with our lives, become multimillionaires just like Chelsea Clinton, provide no services for the government. What happened to all that stuff? What happened to magic money computers, George? That just went dead silent. Nobody's talking about it.
That's because the magician made him disappear.
Yeah. Who's the magician?
Oof. Federal government.
Yeah, that's it. I agree.
Busted. Why do you think they wanted to get rid of Elon and Doge?
Yeah.
Because it's not only Democrats, Republicans are complicit.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know, if you look at, all right, let's talk Minnesota now, Governor Walz. If the Democrats I'm pretty sure the House, they majority Democrats. I don't know how this impeachment will go. I mean, they're just trying to expose Tampon Tim. But if the Democrats are smart in the House, they would vote to impeach him because they can't lie about the fraud. They got so much spotlight on them that there's no way denying it.
No doubt.
So if Democrats, I'm going to give you a little tip. You want to cover your asses and maybe win re-election? You ought to vote to impeach him because you all allowed this. Maybe you weren't in on it, some of the Democrats, but your governor was. So, people need to be held accountable. Your constituents don't want you wasting their money. My God. And that could have been the VP. Imagine if he won the VP, how much money he'd be wasting too.
Yeah.
That'd help us.
Yeah. Yep, there's no doubt. He'd probably be worth hundreds of millions of dollars right now. If he was VP a year in, he probably would have already paid himself quite a bit. So I guess the evidence that was presented for this impeachment in legislative and congressional investigations shows that billions with a B, and taxpayer funds were lost through fraud in Minnesota social service programs. Now understand, this is only the state funds. This is not federal funds they're talking about.
Well, isn't it mixed in with it because they get federal dollars? So like,
they do get federal dollars, but I think probably when it comes to an impeachment by the state, I'm not sure that they can include federal funding. Not positive. Maybe.
Why not? It's money that's supposed to go to the people in Minnesota, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's fraud.
Up to $9 billion in fraud across multiple programs.
Okay, so if it's $9 billion, that's the federal money too. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
well,
they always like to say, "Oh, we give away state money; it's not federal." Right? You know what the thing is here, Lance?
Yes, sir.
This is where it's sad because you have whistleblowers that come out that want to do for the better good, and then they try to cancel them, fire them, do whatever they can to shut them up. I mean, whatever happened to all this whistleblower protection? But you know what? It's the bad whistleblowers that make up stuff are the ones that hurt for the real whistleblowers. That's a problem. And we'll get to the fake whistleblowers in a little bit.
With leadership, when a whistleblower comes out, leadership doesn't want it to come out. Because you can report stuff,
course,
even
it exposes them.
Agencies here in the federal government. If you report things, if like you had something to report, I reported something over a year ago now to federal oversight agencies, every federal oversight agent you could possibly imagine, including the House Judiciary, the House Senate Judiciary. I literally reported House Oversight, Senate Oversight, every single oversight division I reported to. And I got mostly crickets back. And the little bit I got back was everybody trying to say, oh, that's not us. You got to report it there. Oh, it's not us. You got to report it there. Oh, I don't know. We don't do that. Oh, it's not a federal thing, which was totally a federal thing. That's the problem. There really isn't any oversight. They say there's oversight. And when something really hits the news cycle, kind of like what happened for the Proud Boys, you guys have seen the cases been dismissed. I don't know how many of them were impacted. Quite a few of the ones that have been on our show, quite a few that we have supported. I'm trying to get Enrique Terrio on the show to discuss it, but he's been out meeting with the Proud Boys. They're kind of celebrating right now. But look, how it only really, they got the relief simply, and of course they'd already gotten the presidential pardons, but I've said this many times, presidential pardons aren't enough. If the case was manipulated by the federal government, just like the J6 committee did, those people should receive dismissal with prejudice, and then they should receive certificates of innocence. Because at the end of the day, they should get financial relief for how the system was weaponized against them. All right, let's play this clip. Let's hear what they've got to say. This is Representative Mike Weiner.
Sure.
Thanks for the opportunity to present House Resolution 6, calling for the impeachment of Governor Tim Walz for failure to faithfully execute the laws of the state of Minnesota, abuse of power, and obstruction of oversight. Under Minnesota Constitution Article 8, Section 1, the governor may be impeached for malfeasance, nonfeasance, or corrupt conduct. These standards do not require a criminal conviction. They require a breach of public trust and a failure to uphold the duties of the office. Additionally, Article 5, Section 3 requires the government to ensure that the laws are faithfully executed. Minnesota statutes governing fraud, oversight, and fiduciary responsibilities require state leadership to safeguard taxpayer funds. Evidence presented in legislative and congressional investigations show that billions in taxpayer funds were lost through fraud in Minnesota social services programs. Oversight systems failed repeatedly under executive leadership. Federal investigation and lawmakers have estimated up to $9 billion in fraud across multiple programs administered by the state. This represents not a minor administrative lapse, but a systematic breakdown in governance. Central to H.R. 6 is sworn testimony and documented statements from whistleblowers, along with years of OLA reports. According to testimony presented before congressional committees, state employees repeatedly raised concerns about the fraud. Those warnings were ignored or suppressed. Whistleblowers repeatedly were retaliated against after coming forward. State legislative testimony further stated, Walz administration turned a blind eye in the face of countless whistleblower reports. Additional accounts point to employees who attempted to stop the fraud were marginalized or threatened. Oversight mechanisms were weakened instead of strengthened, and these actions meet the definition of abuse of power and obstruction. Nonfeasance in office is the failure to act despite repeated warnings of fraud. I'm sorry, nonfeasance in office. Malfeasance in office is allowing continued disbursement of funds after fraud indicators were identified. Abuse of power. Retaliation against the whistleblowers, raising lawful concerns, and suppression of internal reporting mechanisms. And the failure to faithfully execute the law, which is a breakdown in enforcement of anti-fraud safeguards in a violation of public trust and fiduciary duty. This was not a single incident. It was a pattern. Early warnings date back years. Continued fraud during multiple budget cycles. Escalation, despite public exposure and investigations. In one of the largest cases, the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme alone involved hundreds of millions of dollars in misuse of funds.
Yep. Arrest that son of a bitch. You know,
I mean,
it's
that's the whole
time.
thing, right? Impeachment's not enough, is it? Really, he should face criminal charges, in my opinion. Criminal negligence is still a charge. I don't know. That's what I said though before. When it comes to whistleblowers, they get ignored predominantly, or attacked, or undermined. Because again, there's supposed to be whistleblower protections, but they're really not there. You look at the FBI whistleblowers that came out. Look at how they've been treated. I don't think they've still received their back wages. And we've supposedly had a good person running the FBI, Kash Patel.
Supposedly. Let me do this.
Let's talk about this missing 91-year-old grandmother.
You guys are not going to believe it. 91-year-old grandmother. She missed her daily check-in calls with her family, so their family got scared and they requested a welfare check. And the police showed up. They found her in her room, and they were shocked, literally shocked. I would be shocked too, because she was playing a video game trying to beat her personal record. So in tune with this video game, and she didn't bother answering the phone for anybody.
The dangers of video games right here, firsthand.
Gamer grandma. It's pretty cool, right? It's funny. It's funny, but thank God she's okay. But you got to hear.
What game was she playing? Do we know what she was playing? Was she playing like Splinter Cell or
I didn't say. I don't know. I would like to know too. But a 91-year-old gamer grandma. Go figure. I think it's great. She should be playing with her grandkids. But hey, let's hear it.
Scary situation in Westlake yesterday. Police and the family of a 91-year-old woman unable to get a hold of her. But officers never could have imagined what they were about to find when they went to check things out. Our Scott Knoll explains.
Westlake police at the home of a 91-year-old woman Thursday night.
783, garage doors open. We're gonna make entry.
Police, her family, all unable to get a hold of the homeowner.
And vehicles in the garage.
The woman, a part of the city's Are You OK program. This time, another woman not answering the call.
Everyone's a little bit alarmed that she was missing these contacts.
What would police find this time?
Westlake police!
To protect the woman's identity, police didn't release any more of that video. But what happens next, no one would have guessed.
Turned out to be all okay. Everyone got a good laugh out of it.
Police found her all right in her room. We'll let the officers called to dispatch explain the rest.
We're here with her now. She's playing video games in her bedroom.
Police say not just playing video games, but trying to beat her record level, officers say. In the process, missing those attempts to check in on her. But we're told, thankful police came out. In Westlake, I'm News 5 investigator Scott Knoll.
I hope the police didn't screw up her, scaring her, and she messed up the game and didn't get to beat her personal record. That'd be a shame. I don't know. Right?
Does it seem to you like Tulsi Gabbard just keeps doing the right thing?
According to Laura Loomer, no. According to us, yes.
Yeah. I just feel like Tulsi Gabbard continues to attempt to deliver on what her position is. She keeps bringing stuff up. She keeps exposing things. And now I love this one because Tulsi Gabbard just revealed that Adam Schiff worked with the deep staters on knowingly false grounds to impeach Donald Trump. We already talked about that on this show. Of course, that was 2019. And what I love is the agents involved. And I don't know which agencies yet, FBI probably. They're also going to face criminal referrals. The agents that did the dirty work for Adam Schiff, which is exactly what I've been saying on the show over and over and over again. When did the DOJ, when did the prosecutors get charged? When did the agents get charged? They were all involved. They knew they shouldn't have been doing it. Many of them knew the truth, but they did it anyway.
You know, Lance,
they all should face criminal charges. There's no absolute immunity for them. Forget qualified immunity. This is malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance by government officials. It's obstruction of justice. It's all part of a conspiracy, in my opinion. It's a concurrent criminal enterprise. They all had the mens rea of a crime. It's the same things they would use to charge you or I or someone else. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's see some of these judges get charged. Now we're going about some criminal charges against some of the judges that participated in some of these illegal warrants, these surreptitious eavesdropping cases and the rest of it. They knew what they were doing. Most of them appointed by leftist, parts of the regime. You know, Biden appointed, Obama appointed judges over and over again. Look at Judge Boasberg. I'd like to see criminal charges against him, and like to see him yanked off the bench. What do you got? What do you got?
I'd like to know which one of these agents that they do arrest, who's going to flip first on Adam Schiff?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You know they're gonna. I mean, why is Adam Schiff still in Congress? He's a senator now. Back then, he was a congressman on the head of the Intel Committee. This is the head of the Intel Committee, using bogus information, false information, all to lead an impeachment. And yet, he's now a senator and still sitting on committee. He shouldn't even have his seat. This is where the GOP now falters. They should immediately have hearings and get his ass booted out. But they won't, because they all cover for each other. I mean, time will tell, but, you know, if the DOJ and Trump admin really were about business, they would make sure this happens. He'd be getting indicted too. I mean, how much more evidence do you need? Because like Lance always says, if it was Lance or me, our asses would be in the clink already. Or any of you guys. You'd be down. We all be down for the count. But because you're a federal agent or work for Congress or close to them, you get to get away with shit. But when's enough going to be enough? Do we really have to disband our government, start all over? Yes, we do. It's beyond fixable, I say. Should we play the clip?
Yeah.
It is always the right time to expose the truth to the American people about the deep state tactics that have been used time and time again, fundamentally to undermine the foundational principles of our republic, and in so many cases to undermine the decisions that the American people make when they cast their votes in our elections to decide who they want to lead our country. And so the documents that we released really pointed to the fact that the 2019 impeachment occurred because there were members of the intelligence community working directly with House Democrats, specifically Adam Schiff, who's on the House Intelligence Committee at the time, concocting this narrative, weaponizing the whistleblower process, lying and abusing their power, all to create this manufactured basis that Nancy Pelosi then used to drive this impeachment against Donald Trump in 2019. I'll hit the high points on these documents. There are details and hundreds of pages of transcripts that we released in conjunction with House Intel Chairman Rick Crawford. But the bottom line is this. Number one, the whistleblower, so-called whistleblower who came forward, presented no evidence and no firsthand knowledge. This is a person who had heard about a conversation that President Trump had with Zelensky, then went straight to Adam Schiff on the House Intelligence Committee. And this is where they came up with this false narrative. And this so-called whistleblower then went and filed a complaint with the Intelligence Community Inspector General. The other witness, so-called witness to this, is somebody who also had zero firsthand knowledge and presented zero evidence. Someone who was also a co-author of the 2017 Russia hoax intelligence community assessment that President Obama had ordered be created in conjunction with John Brennan and James Clapper at the time. Again, no firsthand knowledge or evidence. And someone who said that even after reading the transcript, he didn't really see the issue there until the whistleblower had explained it to him. him. And lastly, the Inspector General himself. And this is really such a violation of public trust and the responsibility that we expect all of our inspectors generals to have, in that he didn't conduct a full investigation. He didn't even ask to see the transcript of the phone call between President Trump and Zelensky. And he admitted to Congress that he didn't have any he did not have any evidence that he was relying on. He had made a criminal referral to the Department of Justice based on this so-called whistleblower's complaint. Department of Justice came back and said there's nothing here. This Inspector General then went to Congress anyway and presented to them. All of this coming down to the bottom line of which this was a partisan political attempt, once again, to undermine the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump as President of the United States.
She put in a criminal referral for Eric Claramella, the whistleblower. What about a criminal referral for the IG, who didn't do his job, and Adam Schiff and all the other people? What about referrals for them?
Agreed.
I mean, what the hell?
100%. You know, at the end of the day, all those people are part of a larger conspiracy, the intent to overthrow a sitting president. To me, that's treason and seditious conspiracy, but of course, I'm not an attorney. I would tell you that what they have done, they should all face the consequences. That includes the J6 committee and many others. So we'll have to see what happens. Of course, there's still those auto pen pardons that are out there, which I thought we were going to see some overturning of those, but I guess not. All right. J.D. Vance, they've got him on the anti-fraud task force. He just got done, and how many of these were legitimate? How many weren't legitimate? I'm assuming they've determined that all of these were illegitimate. It's amazing that they even had to do this, knowing these people were being investigated. You'd think they would have stopped grifting. He suspended 447 hospice centers in Los Angeles. Over $500 million, $500 million in suspected fraud. Now, I expect a lot of things coming out of J.D. Vance. Of course, you know, he's greasing the skids for his presidential run. Listen, going after the fraud globally, I mean, nationally is a big deal. Of course, I'd like to see him claw back all the funds. A lot of these people are living in Beverly Hills, living the life of Riley, making lots and lots of money. Got a pretty good clip here.
We do. Get the fraud.
Anti-fraud task force led by Vice President J.D. Vance has suspended 447 hospices and 23 home health agencies suspected of fraud right here in Los Angeles. The total fraud estimated at more than $600 million so far. We talked about that recently with the CMS Administrator, Dr. Mehmet Oz. The number of suspensions is roughly a 539% increase from the 70 reported by Fox.
Crazy. At least they're doing something. I mean, they're shutting them down. I mean, it's better than not doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. That's just like a tip. I mean, California is so.
Yeah, 500 million is a spit in a bucket.
Why do they keep getting our federal money? Is like crazy. We shouldn't give them shit. But you know,
I think there's a point where you have to just dead stop everything on federal money until you fully get to the bottom of it. There's lots of ways to get to the bottom of it. Will they? I don't know.
Because this is what happens. If you don't stop the fraud and the Democrats keep getting away with it, to keep giving it, wasting this money, then they'll just want more money. And how they do that? A lot of Democratic states that want to raise taxes just so they can get more money to waste more of our money. Perfect example, Lance. Mayor dipshit from New York, Mondami. This dude is... I don't even know.
People in New York got to be freaking out. A lot of these wealthy people voted for this dickhead. They donated to his campaign. And what's he want to do? He wants to turn it into a socialized, everything's free groceries, free this, free that. And where's he going for the money? Yeah, for all you people that supported him in his campaign, smart move, guys. You guys are all a bunch of jackasses, and now you're facing the consequences. Well, even Robert De Niro's gone dead silent, that little bitch.
Well, people are getting buyer's remorse with Mondami and Virginia governor that I know of right now.
Oh man, that Virginia governor! Talk about. Did you see this thing where she's jumped into this pool of electoral votes and just
yeah.
I
just
can't
bypass
believe
the state and You know, that's
Shame
just the
on
way.
you for you people that didn't get out and vote in Virginia because, man, you really.
I don't know if that could. So that federal elections, I don't know if she could do that because
there's already like 22 different states that have signed into that compact. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going
pulling
to
up their electoral votes. They don't care what the public vote is. They don't care what the popular vote is. They're just like, okay, well, whatever it is, we're just going to pull up our electoral votes and give them to you.
It doesn't matter.
Talk about Lance, the election.
It's not going to happen. That's going to get knocked down in the courts because our Constitution and Bill of Rights, everything, it's all framed out how it's supposed to work, and they can't change that. They're just trying to. It's a good ploy, you know. They'll try, but it's not going to happen, you know. But
all right, here's Mon Dickhead. Let's play his.
He wants to if you have you're a rich person, you have a house, but then you have a second place in New York, they want to tax you more, but you're already paying taxes. You have a place there, you still got to pay taxes on it and stuff. Let's see.
When I ran for mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich. I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-à-terre tax, the first in New York's history. This is an annual fee on luxury properties worth more than $5 million, whose owners do not live full-time in the city. Like for this penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million. This pied-à-terre tax is specifically designed for the richest of the rich, those who store their wealth in New York City real estate, but who don't actually live here. But even so, they're able to reap the huge financial rewards of owning property in, dare I say, the greatest city in the world. And most of the time, these units are sitting empty, since again, they don't actually live here. This is a fundamentally unfair system that hurts working New Yorkers. Now, it's coming to an end. This tax will raise at least $500 million directly for the city. It'll help fund things like free childcare, cleaner streets, and safer neighborhoods. As mayor, I believe everyone has a role to play in contributing to our city, and some a little bit more than others. Happy Tax Day, New York.
Get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
Safer streets? One of the most unsafe cities in the entire nation. Safer streets? You could be doing safer streets right now, you jackass. Yeah. Well, the rich are going to be...
Safer how? By cutting the police force and putting more social workers. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And charging civilians who stop crimes criminally. People that actually stop crimes, they go after them. Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly what you voted for. I hate to see it. I grew up in New York. You know, it was the greatest city in the world. It no longer will be. Watch what's going to happen over the next couple of years. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
You know, we brought up Virginia before we go to break, Lance. Something that just came out too this morning. You remember former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax?
Yeah.
He shot and killed his wife inside their home and then killed himself. Yeah.
Nice.
Democrat, by the way.
Yeah.
Take us out.
All right, let's take a short break here on the Big Big Show. While we're on the break, take the live link, share it far and wide. Hit that follow button. It's a way to say thank you to us. And you can also hit the follow button on the Crypto Power Hour. That way you'll be notified when we go live. Do it on the break. Maybe even go give us a couple of follows over on social media. Then come back in, tell us what you did. Give you a little shout out in the chat. Get in the chat. Don't be shy. We'll be right back here with the Big Big Show with George Balance and Lance Priacho. Yep. More going on. Heroic Oklahoma high school shot in the leg. Stop the would-be shooter. You gotta love this guy. Stay tuned.
I don't go nowhere. It's Thursday, right? Yeah.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here with your hosts, Lance Migliaccio, George Valentine. Big Mig Mafia's in the chat. If you get a chance, come join the chat. If you're at work listening, don't get in trouble. You know what you could do, though? Could, sneak a little thumbs up, like button, follow, share, anything. One of those things. And if you could subscribe for $5 a month, we truly appreciate it. It helps with overhead. Every little bit helps. So let us help you. Lance and I got the perfect solution for the people that can't watch their crypto 24/7. You know what I'm talking about. BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday Americans. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This is sophisticated technology once reserved only for Wall Street insiders. Now it's available to you. And it's no surprise that this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all military-grade security and up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit BigMigCrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution that's finally giving everyday Americans access to the crypto opportunity of a lifetime. Once again, visit BigMigCrypto.com today and see how you could join this financial revolution, and you'll get up to $2,500 of free crypto. I'm going to say it again. QR code's right here on the screen. Take a screenshot, save it to your photo files. The link is in the chat and it's under the more section in the video. They're supposed to pass this Clarity Act this month, and I'm telling you, once that passes, crypto's going to start going up again. You're going to see big moves happening. But once again, our Congress, they hold everything up. That's just the way they are.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of jerk-offs.
Yeah. Well, it's the banking really trying to hold it up. But, here's a good story. We had the grandma story. Oh, heroic Oklahoma high school principal. He got shot in the leg while he was tackling a shooter before the shooter opened fire on students. So kudos to this principal. Put his life on the line for the kids.
Yeah.
And he was able to subdue him. He did get injured, shot in the leg. His name is Kirk Moore. It's Paul Valley's high school in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. They say he got shot more than one time, repeatedly shot in the leg.
It's amazing that how many lives he potentially saved. What's up with these kids? What's up with these broken ass fucking kids? Here's a 20-year-old kid. He's been out of high school for a couple of years. And his response to his life is to come back to the school to shoot, I don't know who, teachers, students. We don't really know who his targets were, but I mean, what a POS. We've got a clip. I don't think there's any audio with this clip, George, by the way.
There isn't?
But I don't think so.
Oh, let me put it with us. I didn't know. Possible. Could be right, Lance. Let's see. Yeah, there's no audio. You're right. Look at that hit. Hey, got him to drop the gun, kicks it away. Good for them.
Look at this. But the guy that's helping, just, I don't know. The principal is taking it. He's just like, oh, yeah, I'll just walk the gun over. What's wrong with this other guy?
I don't know. Just trying to get rid of the gun, I guess. Who knows? I mean, listen, no matter what, at least he went to help. You know, I don't see anybody else running in to help the guy.
No, you're right. You're right. I think he comes back, but he just, I don't know.
He was putting the gun away. He was like getting it. You see him putting it away somewhere.
Yeah.
On the side.
I could have just unloaded it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. But anyway, kudos to both of them. Hopefully, a big event. But man, these kids out here, I just don't understand why somebody has this, why they look at high school and it's like, oh, I'm going to go back and shoot everybody up, or I'm having a hard time. I'm being picked on. I'm being bullied. Is that the response? Just to go up and just shoot a bunch of people? That's what you think solves the problem?
We haven't got more information on this kid. I don't know if he's a TG, or what. I mean, he was a former student there. He's 20 years old, so he's out of high school for 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
well, for the hole just gets deeper and deeper for old Eric Swalwell, often referred to by his staff as Swallowwell. Lots of stuff coming out. I don't know what's going to happen to Gallego. Now I heard there's some rumor he's going to resign, but everybody are worried that Katie Hobbs will put somebody in there even worse than Gallego. I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. But here's a jaw-dropping moment. This woman comes out. She's saying he raped and choked her and probably drugged her. Again, these are allegations. But she spilled this all on national TV. While he was choking me, I lost consciousness. I thought I died. I believe he drugged my drink. I only had one glass of wine. I did not consent to any sexual activity. And of course, Swalwell, he was married and his wife was pregnant at the time. This is a classy guy, typical. And let me say something. Just because Swalwell got caught, when they voted to not release all the information for that slush fund and who had been paid off to protect people, we've heard some horrible stories. I don't know if you remember, George, the PAGE program they used to have in Congress, where young high schoolers would come in, and these young high schoolers would come in and work in congressional offices. Do you remember the PAGE program?
I do not.
Well, so allegedly it was discontinued because too many of the pages were getting assaulted. They were getting assaulted by congressional members and staff members, these young kids.
So, I mean, this is how effed up Congress is. They're covering for their own fellow congressmen, women, and stuff. Enough's enough. Listen, you said something about Gallego. I'd rather have Katie Hobbs appoint a shittier senator than have a predator senator or one that helps with other senators and Congress people do this type of shit to women. So he should be out.
I kind of feel like the penalty should be when a congressional member gets thrown out. I almost feel like that position should have to sit open until another one gets elected by the people.
Well,
this appointment thing I don't really like.
Each state has their own laws on it, so it varies from state to state. States,
what do you think? Do you think they should be able to appoint somebody? Isn't that really dangerous when you're in a blue state that they're just? And again, blue or red, you're right. They're all involved.
It doesn't. What should happen is they should either appoint somebody interim, and whoever they appoint cannot run for that seat, and then have a special election.
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
If it's Oh, you know what? If it's a year or less, leave that person in there until the election, to the regular election. But that person, whoever they appoint, cannot run for that seat in that cycle.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Thanks.
All right.
I feel for this
we've
woman.
got the clip. Yeah, we've got the clip. This is horrible. If this is true, and other congressional members knew this, or other people knew this, wow. That's all I'm going to say.
Allegation. She's speaking now in California, Beverly Hills. Let's watch.
In 2018, while I was living and working as a model in Beverly Hills, and I also owned a fashion software company, I had contact with Eric Swalwell on 3 separate occasions after meeting him socially. He offered me connections to further my software company, and I also had an interest in local politics. He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink. I only had 1 glass of wine. We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the time, I disclosed the assault to the people closest to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a sexual assault center.
Tough to hear, man. I feel for that woman. You know, people say, oh, she didn't go to the hospital, rape kit. It's not easy. Unless you've been, you don't know unless you've been a victim. So she did disclose it to people closer. She did disclose it in therapy. So that in by itself is, enough evidence, because, I've seen cases where they've used that before. So fucking Swalwell. Well, guess what? Not only is New York looking at him, but the LA DA launched investigation into Swalwell too after this lady just came out. So I'm waiting. The divorce papers didn't come yet for him, huh? He's probably begging his wife right now. Don't divorce me. We got to hold the front together. We got to stand our ground. Yo, lady, divorce his ass. Don't go down with him. He cheated on you. That's not enough to warrant a divorce.
So there's a lot of allegations that Ruben Gallego, Senator Ruben Gallego, is the other man that's visible, not the invisible one, but the visible one in the video. The side profile does have an uncanny resemblance. He's coming out in denial, but I want you guys to pay attention to his behavior on camera. Look at his facial tics and his body language, and you tell me if this is a guy that's innocent. He's crashing out. He's now turning on Swalwell. In the beginning, he was kind of supporting him. Now he's saying, I thought he was a friend, blah, blah, blah. But tell me his behavior on camera, George, isn't incredibly suspicious in this video. You can see this guy is just trying to scramble for answers. And another scumbag. Again, I don't care whether he's a Democrat or a Republican. Here's somebody that should resign immediately. What a disservice to the American people and the people of Arizona.
I just want to address, somebody said in the chat, I don't like that piece of POS, but why now? So I'll give you the answer. It's not easy for people to talk about any kind of abuses, anything that's happened to them. So all it takes is one brave person to come forward, and it gives other people that it's happened to courage and hope and strength to also come forward. That's why now. Let's play this clip.
You know, I don't know what's going on with his family, but it's definitely a horrible situation for family. They're using that as a cover to attack me right now because they can't do it. They couldn't take back 2024 because they ran a horrible race. But now this is what they want to do. They just want to hurt me as much as they can. Presidents, everything else like that, I don't care. We're going to wait, and that's not even a thing right now. The most important thing is I want to protect my family. I want to protect my family's reputation, and this is why we're talking about right now.
Senator, you've gone on trips, on vacations, officially, unofficially. You've gone out, presumably, with the congressman. You've never even witnessed him, I don't know, engaging in an affair?
No.
Never.
What about? No.
How do you explain some of the photos that were online? I know you addressed one, but there is another one that shows both of you without shirts. I mean, how do you address some of those compromising photos?
We were on a beach.
Yeah, I think you were in the desert and on some camels.
It was a beach and a camel, but it's a beach, yeah.
You know,
just his whole body, the twitching,
right.
The closed arms, everything. If you've ever had any training, you would know that all those tics show him to not be truthful. His behavior is that a person not being truthful. I think he should resign immediately. I agree with you, George. I don't know about Katie Hobbs being in charge of appointing somebody, but that's the situation we're stuck with.
Let's see if they arrest Swalwell, if he gives up who was in the room with him at that hotel. We're gonna find out. I mean, because I think Swalwell is a little bitch, and they say, listen, instead of giving you 50 years, we'll give you 25 if you give us the names. You know he's gonna give up the names.
I'd like to know who the blonde girl was too. She
we'll
probably
find
has
out.
lots of information.
That'll come out. Somebody said in the chat, allegedly there's another victim coming out where she's getting, it's going to do it. She's getting her lawyer. But, if I bet you, somebody asked this in the chat, but I bet you if that idiot didn't try to run for governor, this stuff probably wouldn't have come out right now.
I think it's a good point.
So he was running for governor and he had his people working on his campaign for that, and something must have happened. And that's how this all started coming about.
Wouldn't it be a powerful tool for Newsom and others that want to put their own people in as governor? Because you can imagine that Newsom and Pelosi have their own opinion of who should be governor.
If they didn't want him running for governor, he wouldn't be running for governor.
Maybe.
They could listen, if you don't have the backing from those people, you're not going to run.
Yeah, but I always think the aspirations of people, especially people like Swalwell, because he's kind of a power-hungry little bitch, I think at the end of the day, their aspirations sometimes exceed their brain power. And they make decisions because they want to be in power. They want to take their next move politically. I don't know.
He would have been, Swalwell would have been the puppet for Pelosi and others. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. There were lots of discussions during the Biden administration about how they should have brought the 25th Amendment against him. Of course, the Republicans never did it. Nobody ever made a real effort to get him the 25th. If anybody needed it, it was him. I don't see Donald Trump suffering for any mental acuity issues. But of course, this is one of the easiest tools to try to disrupt any positive things coming out of the administrations. Democrats seek to launch the 25th Amendment Commission to remove Trump from office. Even MTG made a comment. Of course, she's out, or she's on her way out, or because she's already out. She's trying to stay politically influential, and she made a comment that she thinks the 25th Amendment might be legitimate in the case of Donald Trump. Pretty awful considering previous support he'd given her, but that's who she is, and now she's a multi-millionaire. Insider trading, another one. So House Democrats introduced new legislation to create a commission to evaluate whether President Trump should be removed from office under the 25th Amendment, of course, led by New York Congressman Jamie the Scumbag Raskin. They want to form a 17-member panel to assess whether the president is fit to carry out his duties. Yeah, I don't like Jamie Raskin. He was part of the J6 committee. He's a piece of shit. But they're saying, is he mentally or physically unable to discharge the power and duties of the office? I don't see Donald Trump suffering from any issues of dementia, Alzheimer's, or inability. I don't see his health failing. George, you tell me, you watch him pretty closely also. I don't see anything in the audience. You guys tell me, do you think he's, eliciting any sort of behavior you could put into question?
Look, this is the hypocrisy from the left. I mean, and you have to think, like, why didn't the GOP do this with Biden? Well, you clearly see his mental capacity was diminished where dude could barely walk. He shit in his pants how many times? Anyway.
Yeah, they used to carry around the diaper bag.
All right. This is just a little taste. The Democrats are not even in power. Can you imagine if they win the House and Senate or one or the other? Oh, my God. The things that they're going to do. I mean, come on. Trump, you want to use the 25th Amendment? Trump's mental capacity is better than most of the reporters. When reporters ask him questions, he's quick-witted. He comes back with answers and stuff. You tell me he's
got incredible energy. I don't even know how the frick he does it.
Yeah. Get out of here. It's just bullshit.
Diet Coke and McDonald's is his fuel. I don't know. This guy's got more energy. If they could bottle that energy, it'd be the most successful brand there was. I don't know what he takes to have that energy. You know, he's not a drug user. He's not a drinker. He's unbelievable. But Raskin, isn't Raskin the worst of the worst? Isn't this a career scumbag politician? This is exactly what you don't want in Congress. The White House described him as a stupid person's idea of a smart person. But, you know, listen, anybody that was on the J6 committee were definitely traitors to the United States. I hope they all face the consequences for their actions. But, of course, right now they have those auto pen pardons. Those need to be yanked. They shouldn't have gotten preemptive pardons. They're all scum. They all lied. They destroyed exculpatory evidence. It's seditious conspiracy against United States citizens. I mean, I'm happy that the Proud Boys got relief. But what about all the other people? What about everybody else that had this fraudulent weaponization, the Fedsurrection against them? Don't they deserve dismissal with prejudice? Don't they deserve certificates of innocence? They went out to peacefully protest, and then they got fired on, agitated with less lethal munitions. And, you know, at the end of the day, it was an operation. That's why I call it the Fedsurrection. Yeah. Okay, now here's interesting. You guys heard about the big, George, we discussed this months and months, maybe a year ago now, maybe a year and a half ago.
But go to robot. But go ahead. Do it quick.
Evergrande, the founder, Huey K. Yan, is pleading guilty to bribery and fraud. He was the head of Evergrande, the largest real estate development firm, which has caused a major meltdown in the finances of China, because even the government invested in his project. That was one of the biggest, that was the focal point of China's property boom. But this is crazy. This guy is going to get life in prison, it looks like. He was Asia's richest man in 2017, worth a reported $45.5 billion. And he had a soccer team. He was into electric cars. And of course, all that debt that he took on toppled the $300 billion Evergrande because they weren't selling the units. A lot of those buildings are just sitting dead empty in China. There's lots and lots of them. Evergrande is not the only one, but this is a criminal probe. Big deal. Interesting stuff. Billionaire to lifetime in prison is what it looks like he's going to get. AI and robots. You got to keep your eye on this. This is crazy. George found an interesting clip. George, tell us about the clip.
Well, they're sending robots out to fight off, what are they? Not hogs. They're, what do they call them? Those feral pigs?
Well, I think it depends on the kind of pig. Those look like peccaries to me, but I don't know if they are. They could just be feral hogs. A lot of feral hogs invade, they're just trying to survive. They go out and they'll go into the urban areas because they can get into the trash and everything else, just like bears do. Pretty common in a lot of areas. And a lot of them have gotten, there's crazy amounts of them. They bred with domestic pigs, and you've seen some of the hogzillas otherwise. But what's interesting to me is, think about this now. Imagine when AI can be put into a body. Now, again, this robot, there used to be a time when robots couldn't do any of the things you see this robot do. And I'm not saying he's running high speed, but the fact that it's running it all, it's pretty interesting and kind of frightening at the same time.
Runs kind of slow. Wait till the battery runs out.
I tupnij jeszcze im nogą. Dobrze, i wystraż jeszcze.
They should give them some cushioned soles so they don't make all that noise.
Yeah. But still crazy when you think about it. Robots have come a long way, and I can't imagine once they've got this AI. You've heard the concerns of AI. There's one AI that won't even release now, Mythos, over at Anthropic, because it actually broke out of its guardrails. This is a crazy story, man. I'm calling it Hogan's Heroes. Does anybody remember the movie, the series Hogan's Heroes? George, do you remember that series?
I didn't really watch it, so.
Okay, I'm a little older than you. Hogan's Heroes was pretty popular for anybody out there. I'm dating myself. At the end of the day, it really is an interesting story. So these are two guys in prison. I'm assuming it's a low, but I don't know that in Ohio. They basically were in charge of a recycling program where they dismantled old computers. Now, this is common in federal and state prisons. This is a state prison. And instead of scrapping all the parts, they started stealing them. They carried components over 1,100 feet past guards, metal detectors, and multiple security checkpoints. And then they built 2 working PCs and hid them behind a plywood board in the ceiling of a training room closet. They ran cables from the ceiling into the prison's own network. They stole login credentials from an employee by watching him type his password. They set up Bitcoin wallets, Stripe accounts, bank accounts, and credit card applications using another inmate's stolen identity. They downloaded VPNs, the Tor browser, password cracking tools, and what investigators called a large hacker's toolkit. They created fake security passes to access restricted areas of the prison, and they ran this operation for months and months. I guess they finally got caught because one of the computers used so much bandwidth, it triggered an automatic alert. The inspector general for the state said it was almost as if it's an episode of Hogan's Heroes, and that's where I got the name. Recycled computer parts, ceiling build tiles, and a cyber crime operation inside a state prison. Man, these guys just were banging it out, George. I mean, pretty unbelievable, right?
It is. I don't know. I mean, how did they have that much freedom to do what they needed to get all this done? I'm wondering if there's some guards in on this. It just seems like it's to get all that work done. You need a lot of time. You need freedom to maneuver. I don't know. I bet you there's some guards involved, allegedly.
Pretty crazy operation, man. Unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah, I'm sure those charges they're going to get are going to suck. Added a lot of time to their sentence.
Probably, right? How much? I mean,
made the people run to that prison look pretty stupid.
That, and they're going to probably go into a max unit too, or somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this scumbag.
This is horrible. Horrible story.
Yeah, let me put it up. People can see. This is a trans baby killer. Was freed from prison 30 years early. And tell me it's not conspiracy. Law enforcement was not notified. This was in I think Indiana. I mean, how? The dude had 55-year sentence, and only after 20 years was released for killing a baby. Think about that. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with him? Of course, there's a Clinton-appointed federal judge siding with the baby killer.
Yeah, the baby killer wanted to get full transitional surgery and wanted Indiana to pay for it. I almost wonder if all that, litigation by this individual trying to get a free trans surgery, right? Maybe bigger boobs or chop off their wiener. Here's the deal. Maybe they released him because they didn't want to foot the bill. But horrible, because they didn't even notify anybody in the community that this individual was being released early.
Did you see in California, illegal immigrants, women didn't get boob jobs?
Yeah.
They're paying for it.
Yeah.
You know.
No, the taxpayers are paying for it.
Yeah, I know. So if you look at California, right? A lot of Botox, a lot of fake boobs, asses, all kinds of shit with the women. How pissed do they got to be right now? Because they got to pay for that stuff. Meanwhile, their taxes are going to fund it for free for the immigrants. You got to be fucking
pretty unbelievable when you think about the system. Because at the end of the day, and I don't want anybody paying for boob jobs or BBLs or any kind of transitional surgeries. I don't think any of that should be included. But if you were going to include it, then why can't regular Americans get it? I'm sure there's many people out there, many women that would like to get a boob job or a BBL. If the government was going to pay for it, they might very well do it. Again, I'm not suggesting that any of that should be covered. I'm just saying that's the ridiculous nature of government officials. They spend your money recklessly, and they don't give a shit because there's no consequences. They continue to hold their positions, and they continue to do this stuff. Letting a violent criminal out of jail 30 years early for killing a baby. People in Indiana ought to be up in arms, especially the people in Evansville that never got notified. They just let this person back in the community and no big deal. The only reason it happened is some regular person recognized the tattoos and recognized the individual from their prior case. And of course, they called it in, but unbelievable, just shitty.
All right,
shitty stuff.
Hold on. So, Craig, I can 100% certainty, without a doubt, Real Rat Dog is all woman. But don't get it twisted. She'll take a frying pan to your head. But she's all woman. I'm just watching the chat. It's funny. All right, Lance, take us home.
All right, listen, we're out of time for today. If you love the show, easiest way to do it, hit the follow button. If you can do the paid subscription, fantastic. We're always trying to grow our subscriber base. It's helpful to get that $5 a month because an accumulation helps us cover the nut for the show. You can throw a Rumble rant tip at us. Those are always greatly appreciated. But the follow is the minimum. If you can't do the paid subscription, Rumble rant tip, great. We've also got our Rumble wallet up there for tips in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. And of course, don't forget, tomorrow morning, you got to be here 7 a.m. the Crypto Power Hour, the #1 crypto show on Rumble. And of course, the Big Mig Show, 11 a.m. tomorrow. That's how we do it. God, country, family. We appreciate you guys. George.
It's Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the Crypto Power Hour, 7 a.m. Have a good day. Later, Gators.
I might have to let it drop. Said got it hella big, had the money back again, like it. Said had hella big, had the money.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.